Alright, so let's do the same thing as we did before. Duplicate this loop until it has a length of 8 bars, which you can see on the left, or you can just watch out for those little, you cannot see them at the moment, these things right here. It's also indicating that the loop is finished at this time. Alright, so let's duplicate this loop again. And now we will go and adjust the notes according to our chords. So, first one is right, we already made it fitting the B minor chord. The second one is the D major chord, and I'm just going through all the notes very structured from the top down. So the B is actually not in the D major, but it could work out because A, it's high above, like it's higher above like the D and not as low as this one here, for example. And as we experienced earlier, the higher notes, sometimes it's better to leave them in the place because they're giving a certain frame to our ARP. Alright, second one is the F sharp. This will fit because it's the third of the D major chord. The third one is a D. This will work out very well. And now we're getting a little bit into a problematic point because the D major, now we actually have the B, which will, I think, work out on the top here because not that many notes and a lot of higher, but I think down there we should transpose it down to the A. And now we have this problem again that we have two notes, those two notes here. You can select individual notes by hitting shift and just clicking on them. And we don't want this to happen, so either transpose it up here to the B or we go down to the G. Yeah, this is just something we can try. And then again we have the F sharp here, which will work out. So let's have a listen. Wait. I think it's important that you start always on, or not always, but to get a feeling for how the harmony changes and if there's too much changing or like the harmony that is the ARP is playing at that moment. So start on the B minor chord on your 1 and then listen for the transition. Does it feel right? Is there too much changing? Is there too less changing? Those are all like parameters you can listen for. Working good? Alright, so now, oops, I put this back here. Now we're in the G major chord. So we have our B. B is the third of the G major. This will work out. F sharp will not work out. It's again this clashing tone right there, the half step. Let's transpose it up to the G. Then we have our D. D is the fifth of the G, will work out. Then we have the B, again, that's the third. We have the A, which is this interval here. It's a little bit dissonant, but at the same time, it's not really playing a lot of notes here, so I think we can leave it there. And then we have one note which we should look out for. This is this very low F sharp, and this needs to be changed to the G. Alright. Now we have to change to A major. Same procedure here. We will leave this in place because we want our frame in the upper register to be the same. Then we have our F sharp here. This won't work out, so let's transpose this down to the A. I'm just trying to fit all those notes in the ARP into the corset of the chord that it's currently played. D will not work out, so we will just go on the C sharp, which is the major third of the A, which will sound pretty good. Now we have a lot of notes going on here on the B, which I think will not work out pretty well. So we should transpose those notes down. And those are the notes on the second and the fourth, the clap position, which are our coming home notes. So we should transpose them down to the A here. Let's select those two notes and transpose them down. F sharp will not work out pretty well in those lower registers here. So let's transpose this down to the E, which equals the fifth of our A major chord. Okay, and now, of course, here we're getting back to our leading tone. So we can just adjust some of those notes. Again, the chord that is actually playing at that time is an F sharp dominant chord. So we can use all the notes from that, which are E is fine, C sharp is fine, and then we're just going to use A sharp here in the end, because this will be our leading tone. So now it should work out pretty well. Yep. Alright. Another basic ARP theme. Alright, so I just want to make a short excursus into some processing steps, because now, I mean, I like to, you know, there are some time-based effects like echo and reverb, and they're really adding signal to what's already there. And then there are like some effects like erosion, overdrive, saturation, EQ, which are not adding anything particularly like time-wise to your signal, okay? So there's a pretty cool preset called White and Dirty, but from this erosion here, from this erosion effect. So I just want to make this whole lead a little bit fatter and wider and nicer and all that jazz. So let's create a return channel, insert this White and Dirty preset from erosion, and now let's just solo our main lead arp and increase the send here to solo the send as well. And now it really adds some nice overdrive to our sound, makes it more analog. So if we close down the filter a little bit more, now it gets really moody. And this is some kind of sound that I can hear a lot in Ben Böhmer productions also. Alright, cool. So let's add even a little bit more EQ to this White and Dirty preset, and that's the cool thing about Sense. Now you can effect your effect. So now we can say, okay, we like those highs. So now we can effect the effect, and that's pretty cool because we can cut out the lows from our White and Dirty send here. At the moment it's super quiet. That's because of my gain staging here in my mix and because of the headphone levels. That's why you don't see the visual representation, but the EQ is working. So we can really just use the highs, and now we could even say, let's use just a delay, maybe grain delay, on just those distortions. And now we can create like a different rhythm just out of the distortion from our main synth. So, you know, I just want to make up some creative ways of using your effect. Just a little bit less here. Alright, pretty cool, I guess.